Hey everybody, Matt here from Matt's Movies, Music and More, welcoming you to this week's music review. Yeah, for the first time on this channel, I'm actually doing a music review, and I am so over the moon to do this. And the fact that the first album that I picked to talk about on this channel is a special one because it's actually been sent to me by a record company. So I am absolutely over the moon. An actual retail copy of this album. So this album has been sent to me courtesy of Splid Records, and I would like to thank David P. Crickmore and Steve Wright from the band that sent me this. So the album I want to talk about today is the new 2019 album, SAVED Symmetry by Fiat Lux. Now, that name might ring a bell to you because Fiat Lux was a band that actually began in the early 1980s. And they were formed by multi-instrumentalist David P. Crickmore and vocalist Steve Wright. The band got a record deal after being spotted by bebop deluxe musician Bill Nelson, and when they signed to his record label in 1982, they released their debut single called Feels Like Winter Again, which, even though it didn't chart, it did make a substantial impact on the band's career as it helped them get spotted by other record labels. Now, one of the key things that happened with that song was that a new member got introduced into the band, which was Bill's younger brother, Ian Nelson, who, like Dave, was a multi-instrumentalist. He could play keyboards and play woodwind instruments as well, which would be a really, really big impact in the Fiat Lux sound. So what happened was in 1983, the band signed to Polydor Records and released a bunch of singles such as Photography and their big hit that caught a lot of people's attention, Secrets, which is the song that I actually discovered the band through, was that song. It's their most fondly remembered song. And then the subsequent single after that, Blue Emotion, which was the band's biggest hit in 1984, and other singles including Solitary Lovers and House of Thorns. The band had actually began recording an album in 1984, but Polydor didn't release it. Instead, what Polydor released was a mini LP, which I've never even heard of that format. I've heard of EPs and LPs, but never a mini LP, so it's a very strange one. That was called Hired History. So Polydor just completely shelved the album. And it's a shame because shortly after that happened, the band ended. And long story short, we go on to the 2000s, and Ian Nelson, we have to pay tribute here, he passed away in 2006. And it wasn't until 2017 that, through chance, that David and Steve got back together, and they put out their first new material in nearly 30 years. They recorded as the first comeback a new re-recording of Secrets, which was called Secrets 2017, which appears on this new album, SAVED Symmetry, as a bonus track. And in 2018, they released their first new song, which was called It's You, which is also on this album. And in March this year, early February, March, they released a new single to promote this album called Every Day in Heaven, which I absolutely love. I think it's a great, great track. And then in March this year, 2019, they've now released SAVED Symmetry. Now, they sent this to me a couple of weeks before the album was released, and I apologise for not getting the video out sooner, but I'm so glad that I didn't talk about it straight away, because it gave me more time to listen to the album over and over, and then I could appreciate it more. And yeah, I really want to talk about this because this is the band's debut album, yet the band actually recorded an album in 1984 and it didn't get released. But as we speak, in April of this year, Cherry Red Records are releasing Hired History as a deluxe 2-disc edition, calling it Hired History Plus, which will feature the debut album by the band, the actual debut album. So this is, in theory, Fiat Lux's second album, but discography-wise, this is actually being released as the first album. So as I'll go on to it, I'm not going to be able to go into every detail of every track, but we have 10 tracks on this album plus a bonus track. If you buy the MP3, I don't think Secrets is included, but I'll tell you the songs that are on this album. So you start off with this track called Tuesday, which is a 6-minute track. It's very atmospheric, starts very slow with like sound effects of like radios tuning in and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a really, really good song. I really enjoy that. And then you've got Hold Me While You Can, which is pretty cool as well. And then we get on to Every Day in Heaven, which I really like. I think it's a really, really good song. And we go on to Grey Unpainted Rooms and We Can Change the World, which I also really like a lot. I think that's a really, really catchy song. And then Wasted on Baby Tears, which is a song that I really think is the new Secrets. I think it has a lot in common with Secrets regarding its chord structures, and it does sound very classically influenced, and that's a really, really special track. That shows really the talent of this band, that they're able to write songs like that. And then we go on to Long Lost Love, and obviously the single It's You, and then Calling on Angels, which is a song that the band actually did play live back in the 80s, but again, it wasn't recorded. And then finally the title track, Saved Symmetry, and then obviously the bonus track of Secrets. So for me to be actually sent this by the band, because I did contact Fiat Lux to ask them if there was an opportunity to get a review copy of this album, because I was looking forward to it so much. But the fact that the guys decided to send me a proper retail copy, which unlike some of the other stuff I've received so far on the channel from studios who I have promoted, I haven't received anything that is retail packaging. So to get an actual proper CD copy, as you see here, if you buy it from Splid Records or any other online retailers, I'm not sure if it will be the same on other retailers, but as you can see, this is a gatefold cardboard casing, very much reminiscent of an old gatefold LP. And sadly there's no booklet or lyrics in there, but you get the disc, and you get the CDs like this, and yeah, I mean it's a very nice packaging. I really am happy with this. Splid did also send me another CD, which I'll show an image for in the screen here. That one I will try and review at some point, but I just really want to say that I am absolutely over the moon that Fiat Lux are back together, and the fact that this is the album that I've now discovered and I've listened to, and I think it's great, and I'm happy to share this album with friends of mine to check it out and see what they think, because I think I'm going to get more people into the band. I just think that this is some really good stuff. It sounds modern, it also sounds 80s, and I think that's what works about it. I think that if you're a fan of the band from the early 80s and you like songs like Secrets and Blue Emotion and a lot of the B-sides and stuff like that, you're going to love this. I mean, I've already pre-ordered Hired History Plus, so when that comes out, I'll be looking forward to reviewing that at some point. But I'm not being paid to review this or to review that album when it comes, but I'm promoting this because they sent this to me very kindly. I would have actually bought this album because I was looking forward to checking it out, but the fact they sent it to me, I am so happy. So again, this is a big thank you to David and Steve from Fiat Lux and from Splid Records. So if you guys have checked out Saved Symmetry, or do you know who Fiat Lux are, you should check them out. Definitely check them out. There's going to be links in the video description here for you to be able to buy this directly from Splid Records or other retailers that I can think of. So write down in the comments, let me know what you think. Is this an album you've even checked out? Is it one that you're going to check out now? I sure hope so. So thank you very much, everybody. Don't forget to check out the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, and everything else to keep it to date. So all the very best to you. Bye bye.